Now, everybody thinks that rich people have all this disposable cash. They can just go on a spending spree. Not the case. They might be rich, but that money might be tied up in investments where they don't have access to it. And situations like that spur the need for pawning. Or in this case, Borrow.com. We have the CEO, Paul Aitken, joining me on set. Pawn shops for the posh. So these are people who need quick cash. They're now going to your site, Borrow.com, with their valuables as a collateral for a loan. And then when they're ready to pay back that loan, you give them their Maserati, their Rolex, whatever it is back.
That's exactly right.
How'd you think of that? It's brilliant.
I came up with it about 4 or 5 years ago, just before Lehman Brothers kind of went under. We started in the UK. It was seriously about 3 or 4 weeks before. So it was quite timely in terms of launching the business. But I thought, you know, quite simply, people have been on a spending spree for 30 odd years, leveraging themselves to the hilt. And they have all these assets, and I just thought it was a great opportunity to provide an alternative way of people getting liquidity.
So how exactly does it work?
Well, you come to our website.
Borrow.com,
yeah,
without
absolutely.
the W.
That's exactly right, without the W. And you basically give us information relating to who you are and what assets you have against which you want a loan. We will then basically get in contact with you and organise the transportation of the assets from you to us. So,
how do you value them?
Well, we have a team of appraisers who've all worked at big auction houses or worked for Tiffany's or art specialists. So we have those guys in-house. So we can pretty much value any type of asset.
Does someone ever say, hey, that's worth so much more than that price tag that
quite
you
often.
give it? And then what do you say?
Well, we say, well, we explain that it's maybe not. I mean, it depends on the asset. People are very clear on the value of their cars, for example.
Speaking of cars, you must have had some crazy cars.
We've done quite a lot of interesting cars.
Such as?
Lots of Maseratis and Bentleys and things like that.
Oh, because it's so common to have a Maserati.
Well, obviously.
We're looking at them on the screen now.
There you go. Exactly. So that's one of our garages. But, what we're doing mainly is Porsches, Mercedes and things like that. But we do a lot of fine art and antiques. And
Picassos.
we've done Picasso sketches, some lots of Andy Warhol. And we do a lot of diamond jewellery, very nice diamond jewellery, nice watches and the like. But
so is there a common reason why your customers don't have the money or can't get the money that they need right then and there?
Well, it's often down to speed. A lot of our customers are small business owners and self-employed people who struggle to get access to credit elsewhere because they have irregular cash flows, and the banks just don't like people who have irregular cash flow. So they come to us for speed, convenience, because they can do it from their own home, basically. And because, actually, it's often cheaper for them to get a loan from us, although the interest rates are quite high,
than
actually selling the asset. And the interest, because if you sell an asset, you pay fees to auction site or auction houses, or the guy you sell it to, it could be a jeweller or an art dealer, has to make their margin on top. So often you're destroying 30% of the value of the asset on sale.
Right.
So that's economically, actually, a lot of people come to us for speed and because it's actually lower cost than selling.
And if you're a person accustomed to having nice things, you might have a few cars and you don't really notice that Bentley sitting in the garage.
Well, I wouldn't say, I don't, that's not, it's all very newsworthy, those types of customers, but our core customers are people who are borrowing against a nice watch or a nice piece of jewellery in the 5,000 to 20,000 range.
That out. Yeah, so 5,000 to 20,000.
Yeah, it's kind of the core of what we do is at that level.
That's the amount of the loan that they're needing.
Yeah,
5
we
to
go
20.
as high as $1 million, but the most of what we're doing is the 5 to 20. But we get interesting things coming along. Did a loan against an Oscar recently, Olympic gold medals.
An Oscar?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you disclose who?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, and what is the interest rate that you charge?
The interest rate, it ranges from 2.99% a month to 3.99% a month.
That's not bad.
No, and people are basically borrowing for, on average, 4 or 5 months. So using it for very short term, but it's for opportunities. You get a few people who are borrowing for distressed reasons, like school fees to pay and so on and things, and tax bills. But a lot of the time is they've got an opportunity to do a business transaction where they can make more money from the transaction than it costs to service our debt.
What areas do you have customers in? What parts of the world?
All over the States. But at the moment, we're quite...
Just US?
Yeah, well, we're in the UK as well. So we started in the UK at the end of 2008.
All good things come from the UK.
Absolutely.
American Idol.
There you go.
Okay, very nice. I have a bunch of... Well, how do you get your money to provide these loans?
We borrow from institutions, and we also have...
Who's we?
The
Who are
company.
your backers?
Well, our backers... the company, I founded the company, and we have a range of investors in the business who have been involved in businesses like Capital One and other lending businesses.
So when you said this was about a month before Lehman crashed?
Yeah.
So at that time, I feel like this became a better idea after Lehman crashed.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think remember in the UK, actually, Northern Rock actually went under about 9 months before, and that was noticed as being the start of the credit crunch.
Okay.
So it was already happening. But I think even if that hadn't happened...
Great timing for you, though.
Yeah, I think it's great timing for launch, but even if it hadn't happened, I think people like to have things liquidity quickly. And a lot of the people we lend to are higher risk individuals, self-employed small business owners, not necessarily planning right out in the future. If they see an opportunity, they want to seize it here and now, and we can provide that for them.
Yeah, and small business owners always complain. And every Wednesday we do a small business show here, and they say the same thing every week. We can't get access to credit. We don't have confidence to expand, so this is an opportunity for them. How often do you not get paid back?
It's between 8 and 10%. Okay. And
is that typical?
Typical in terms of other similar.
Right. Similar size loans.
I think it's low. I think it's much lower with us. You know, our average loan size is about $15,000. So people want their assets back, and they are genuinely coming to us because they just want liquidity quickly. They often have a way of paying us back. And they do that, and then they come and use us again the next time they have an opportunity.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes you're waiting to be paid by a large corporation, and that large corporation is just delinquent and late on paying you, and you have all these orders, but you need that capital right then and there to continue your business, even though your business is fine.
We get a lot of people who work in construction-related industries, and they've got their own small construction firm, and people are paying late, and they've got a working capital issue.
Who are your competitors?
Well, I think that the biggest competitor for us actually is the ways in which people can get liquidity by selling the assets. So auction sites and the like.
Interesting.
We also, at the very high end, will be overlapping with private banking as well.
Okay. Yeah, and in my notes for you, it says you don't like to refer to your company as a pawn shop. That must happen all the time.
It does.
But similar to a private bank.
Yeah, well, I think we're halfway between the two. We call it personal asset lending. We've created a new category in lending. No one's, you may say competitor, no one's doing exactly what we do. So we really have created this category. And, we're here for the long haul. And the great thing is that people do repeat with us and use us over and over again. The repeat patterns are phenomenally strong. Great
stuff. Paul Aitken, thank you so much for sharing that with us. We're going to put your website, borrow.com, without the W, on the screen. Why did you take off the W? Does it mean wealth or something?
Well, actually, here's the thing. Borrow.com without a W is a lot cheaper to buy.
Oh, in terms of internet domains?
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I bought it from a guy in Salt Lake City called Jason Borrow, so now he's got a mention.